Hey everybody, Gina Mizell here alongside Danny Moran. We are at the Big House where on Saturday, Oregon State lost pretty badly to Michigan, 35-7 here. The first loss of the Gary Anderson era, the first win of the Jim Harbaugh era at Michigan, and kind of a crazy series of events here because Oregon State goes right down the field on their first drive, goes up 7-0. They force a turnover. They're in Michigan territory, really hang tough for the majority of the first half, and then things just really fell apart for the Beavers. You start with the snap over the head of the punter, and then obviously just completely imploded in the second half.
Yeah, the big question all week was how are people like Seth Collins, all these new starters, going to respond to the atmosphere of the Big House?
Yeah.
And they immediately come out and have their best offensive drive of the season to this point. You know, better than anything that you saw against Weber State. Oregon State then gets the ball on a fumble at Michigan's 24. And it looks like they're in business, maybe about to go up 14-0. Then Victor Bolden fumbles, and it kind of just all went downhill from there. It was closer, like you said, maybe throughout the first half, but the snap on the second punt over Perebski's head, which he then did not
kick out of the end zone.
Did not kick out of the end zone. Would have been a safety, would have made it 12-7, probably going into halftime. Instead, the ball's on the 3. Michigan punches it in. It's 17-7, and then the second half, you just saw nothing really positive from either side of the ball for Oregon State.
Yeah, on offense, do I have this right? 16 plays, 9 yards.
Yeah, and they held the ball
bad.
7 minutes and 32 seconds of the second half. So basically, Michigan had the ball for 3/4 of the second half.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, Oregon State really couldn't stop them. The tackling wasn't there like it was last week, but it was almost hard to blame the defense in a sense because they were on the field for so long. The offense, whether it was Seth Collins or Marcus McMaryion, who did make an appearance, neither could really get anything going.
Yeah, the rush defense was what really was stuck out to me as far as being a big disappointment. Smith had 3 touchdowns for Michigan today and just bounced off tackles left and right. He just, nobody was able to bring him down on first contact really, and that's kind of what led to this sort of ballooning here. But now obviously the Beavers come back home, San Jose State comes to town, the Seth Collins Bowl, as maybe we'll dub it, because of course that's where he was originally going to go. What is your initial thought about that game and how this team can maybe respond after such a tough loss?
I think that's kind of it. How do they respond? I mean, San Jose State, they play later tonight. They're 1-0 to this point. We really don't know much about them except that they were 3-9 a year ago. For Oregon State, now this is behind them. They've been popped in the mouth. This is kind of what people thought would happen in the first half. It didn't actually appear like they were exceeding expectations, so it's almost a weird kind of just thing to go through mentally when it goes from, okay, maybe we're on the verge of a major upset on national television to, okay, we got blown out. And it was kind of what people expected. So what's the response to that on both sides of the ball, really? Because I imagine both sides are going to get very tested in practice today or this week, I should say, by Gary Anderson, Kalani Sitake, Dave Baldwin. No one's going to be happy with what they saw today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, we have plenty of coverage right now on OregonLive.com if you want to read it, our coverage from the game, and we'll have plenty of follow-up stuff, and of course, all of your stories and videos and pictures leading up to the San Jose State game. So, again, for Danny Moran, I'm Gina Mizell. We're at the Big House. Oregon State loses 35-7 to Michigan, and we will catch you next time.
See you next week.